Something is happening right now that your natural eyes cannot see, but your spirit has been quietly registering for some time. A heaviness in the atmosphere that is not your imagination. A sense that something is shifting, that the air around your life carries a weight that is part darkness being dismantled, and part something new preparing to arrive. You did not find this message by accident. You were drawn here by something that recognized, before your conscious mind could form the words for it, that this moment was carrying something you needed to receive. Stay with this all the way through. What is about to be spoken over your life, your home, and this specific season you are walking through was not assembled casually. It was prepared with the specific knowledge of what you have been carrying, what you have been fighting, and what you have been praying toward in the quiet moments when no one else was listening. Welcome to the breath of angels. This is a home built for the souls who know that what happens in the invisible realm is just, as real as what happens in the visible one, who understand that the battles they are fighting are not only natural, and who are ready to receive what heaven has actually been doing on their behalf in the spaces they could not see. Whether this is your first time here or you have been walking with this community for a while, I am genuinely glad you are here tonight. This message was prepared for this exact moment in your journey. I want to begin by speaking directly to something you have been feeling, but may not have fully named. There is a particular kind of spiritual sensitivity that comes with carrying a genuine calling, a heightened awareness of the atmosphere around you, a noticing of things that other people walk past without registering. The sense that certain conversations leave you feeling drained in a way that goes beyond ordinary tiredness. The awareness that some spaces feel heavier than they should and that some relationships carry an undertow that you have been trying to articulate, without sounding like you are imagining things. You are not imagining things. What you have been sensing is real. And Archangel Michael was sent today specifically to speak into that sensitivity, to validate what your spirit has been registering, and to give you the practical and spiritual understanding you need to navigate this specific season with authority rather than anxiety. The atmosphere in and around your life right now is in a state of active transition. Something that has been operating in the background, quietly working against the advancement of your peace and your purpose, is being dismantled. Not gradually, deliberately, by forces that are far greater than anything that has been working against you. And the turbulence you have been feeling, the strange heaviness, the inexplicable unease, the sense that something is about to break open in either a very good or a very difficult direction, is the sensation of that dismantling happening in real time. The peace you have been asking heaven for is not a passive state that arrives when all the problems disappear. It is an active presence that enters when you make room for it. And tonight, heaven is doing the work of creating that room, clearing what has been occupying the space where peace is meant to live, removing what has been anchored in your environment that does not belong there, and positioning you to receive what has been prepared for this next chapter of your life. I want to speak about the people who are close to you and the discernment that is being sharpened in you in this season. Because one of the most important things that is happening right now is a clarifying of vision, a lifting of the fog that has made it difficult to see clearly who is genuinely for you and who is present in your life for reasons that are less aligned with your well-being than their outward behavior suggests. You have been extending trust and loyalty in some directions that have not been returned in kind. Not every person who is close to you carries intentions that match their presentation. Some of the weariness you have been experiencing. Some of the sense that your progress keeps meeting invisible resistance is connected to energy dynamics in your relational world that are not serving your advancement. This is not a call to suspicion or to viewing every relationship through the lens of threat. It is a call to the kind of honest discernment that pays attention to how you feel after spending time with certain people, Whether certain connections consistently drain you or refill you. Whether the people closest to you celebrate your growth or subtly resist it. The relationships that are being shifted in this season are not all being removed. Some are being clarified. Some are being deepened. And some are being released so that space can open for what is coming. Do not fight the releases. Do not cling to what heaven is moving away from you. What is departing was not built to support what is coming. And what is coming requires space that the departing things were occupying. There is something waiting for you that goes beyond what this message alone can contain. A deeper encounter with the specific protection and direction and clarity that your spirit has been reaching for in this specific season. You will find it in the link pinned in the comments below. Do not pass it by. Every soul who arrived at this message today was guided there for a reason. And what is waiting in that link was placed there specifically for this moment. Right now, in the comments, this declaration over your life and your home. My home is covered by heaven. Every assignment against my peace and my purpose is dismantled tonight. Let those words go past the surface. Let them be a genuine statement of authority over the space you inhabit. Because you are not speaking into emptiness. You are agreeing with what Archangel Michael has already been doing in the invisible realm of your home and your life. And your agreement is not irrelevant. It is the activation of what has already been prepared. I want to speak now about the practical spiritual care of your home and your personal environment. Because the invisible realm is not entirely separate from the physical one. The spaces we inhabit carry spiritual atmospheres that are shaped by what has happened in them, what has been brought into them, and what has been allowed to remain. And sometimes what we have kept out of sentimentality or habit or the inability to let go is the very thing that has been anchoring a heaviness we cannot explain. This is not about superstition. It is about stewardship. The way you care for and consecrate the space you live in is a spiritual act. Walking through your home with intentional prayer, speaking peace and consecration over each room, is not a mystical ritual disconnected from real life. It is the practical declaration of authority over the territory you are responsible for. It is you saying, with your voice and your intention, that this space belongs to the one who created you and that what does not align with that authority has no right to remain. If there are items in your home connected to people or seasons that brought significant darkness or pain, pray honestly about whether they need to remain. You are not obligated to keep what carries a negative spiritual weight simply because throwing it away feels dramatic or superstitious. Your environment is an extension of the spiritual territory you are called to steward. Tend to it with the same intentionality you would bring to any other area of your life that you take seriously. Open your windows when you can. Let fresh air and natural light into the spaces that have been closed. Order and cleanliness are not merely practical preferences. They are conditions that support the kind of atmosphere where peace can settle and where the spirit can move without obstruction. These are small acts, but the invisible realm responds to the physical expressions of spiritual intention. Do not underestimate the power of the simple and the practical when it is done with genuine faith behind it. I want to speak about the people who have been speaking against you in private spaces you were not present for, in conversations you did not know were happening, with intentions that were less about your well-being than about managing their own fear of what your advancement might mean for them. Heaven saw every one of those conversations. Not one word spoken against you in the dark went unregistered. And the reversal that is coming for those words is not the result of your fighting or defending yourself. It is the natural consequence of light, exposing what was operating in darkness. You do not need to defend your name. Heaven is your defense. It has been from the beginning. The advancement that is coming into your life will be its own answer to everything that was spoken against you. When people who counted you out observe what God is doing in your life in this next season, you will not need to say a word. Your elevation will speak more clearly than any argument you could make. Let it. Your only task is to stay aligned with what heaven is building and to refuse to be drawn back into the battles that belong to the past. If this message is landing in a real place in you tonight, I want to invite you to click the thanks button below. That simple act of support keeps this mission alive and sends these words to other souls who are navigating exactly what you have been navigating, who need to know tonight that what they are sensing in the atmosphere around them is real, that heaven sees it, and that the dismantling has already begun. Your support reaches people you will never meet with truth they desperately need. It is a small gesture with an immeasurable reach. I want to speak about the discernment you need to exercise in the coming days as things begin to move and shift around you. Because spiritual transitions attract attention. When something significant is happening in the invisible realm on your behalf, there will often be attempts to distract you from it, to pull you back into old patterns, to offer you something that looks like what you have been waiting for, but is actually a counterfeit designed to redirect your attention and your energy away from what is genuinely being prepared. The test is always the same. What genuinely comes from heaven brings peace with it, not pressure. What is aligned with God's timing for your life does not require you to override your discernment or rush past the quiet warning in your spirit. What is from God will still be there after you have taken time to pray about it. What is not will create urgency and anxiety and a pressure to decide before you have had the space to hear clearly. When something comes toward you in this season that looks appealing, that seems to be what you have been praying for, take time before you respond. Bring it before God, without the pressure of the urgency that it carries. Sit with it in the quiet and listen for what settles in your spirit, rather than what excites your emotions. The excitement of a counterfeit always outpaces the peace of the genuine in the first moment. But the peace of the genuine always outlasts the excitement of the counterfeit over time. Learn to wait for peace that holds rather than excitement that fades. Write this in the comments as a declaration of discernment. I will not move ahead of the peace of God. What is genuinely for me will come with clarity, not confusion. And I will wait for that clarity. Let that be the standard you apply in this season. Not suspicion of everything, but the patient, prayerful discernment of someone who understands the difference between genuine opportunity and sophisticated distraction. I want to speak about something that is being positioned for you in the relational dimension of your life. There are people who have been on the edge of your world, observing your journey from a distance, who are being moved in your direction. Not all at once, in the timing that is right for each connection. Some of these people will arrive with an openness and a humility that surprises you, acknowledging what they saw in you that they may not have expressed before. Receive those moments with grace. They are not opportunities to rehearse old grievances. They are confirmations that the story has moved forward and that new chapters are beginning. There is also a connection that has been forming in the background, slowly, without announcement, that is about to become visible. You may have sensed it without knowing what to make of it. A sense of significance around a particular person or direction that you have not been able to explain. Do not force it forward before it's time. Do not close the door on it out of the self-protection that your painful history wants to impose. Simply remain open, remain present, and remain rooted in the peace that confirms what is genuinely from God. When it is right, it will be clear. And when it is clear, step into it without the hesitation that the past wants to install. There is also something being shaken loose in this season that has been hidden. A truth about a situation, a relationship, or a dynamic in your life that has been obscured for longer than it should have been. The information that surfaces will initially be uncomfortable. It may feel like loss or betrayal, or the painful revision of a story you thought you understood. But the discomfort of having the truth revealed is always far smaller than the cost of continuing to operate without it. What is being exposed to free you, not to wound you. Receive it with that understanding. Let it bring the clarity and the adjustment it was sent to bring. And then let it become the foundation of a wiser and more aligned next chapter. If this message has been walking beside you through something real tonight, I want to invite you one more time to click the thanks button below. Keep this mission moving. Let these words reach the soul who is sitting somewhere right now, sensing that something is wrong in their home or their relationships, who cannot quite name what they are feeling, who needs to know that what they are sensing is real and that heaven is already responding to it. Your support is the bridge that gets this message to them. Write your final declaration in the comments. At every step, the angels of heaven establish the ground beneath my feet, and I walk into this new season with authority, with peace, and without fear. Let those words be the posture you carry out of this moment, and into the rest of this night, and into tomorrow, morning, and into every day of the season that is opening. Because something is genuinely shifting. The heaviness you have been carrying does not belong to this next chapter. The confusion that has made it hard to see clearly is being lifted. The weariness that accumulated in the difficult season is being exchanged for a strength that does not depend on your circumstances or your energy levels. A peace that genuinely passes understanding is settling over the spaces in your life that have been most turbulent. Not because the circumstances have all resolved, because heaven has moved into the territory and is establishing its authority there. You do not have to fight for this. You do not have to earn it or manage it or force it into being. Your task is to cooperate with what is already happening, to make room for what is coming, to release what is being moved away, to speak with authority over your home and your life, to exercise discernment in what you receive and what you allow access to your space and your energy, and to trust, with the full weight of everything you have been through, that the one who has been working in the invisible realm on your behalf has not missed anything that matters. Your home is being covered tonight. Your life is being redirected toward what was always intended for you. Your name is being honored in rooms you have never entered, by people who do not yet fully understand why they feel the urgency to act on your behalf, but who are being moved by something greater than their own initiative. Heaven is not finished with your story. In the most important ways, it is just arriving at the chapters that everything before was building toward. If you are not yet part of this community, this is your invitation. Subscribe to the Breath of Angels not as a passive observer, but as someone who has decided that they are not going to navigate the invisible dimensions of their life alone, who wants to stay connected to the kind of honest, deep, spiritually grounded truth that reaches the places where real life actually happens. There are more messages coming, more moments exactly like this one, more truth delivered with the precision and the care that comes from heaven's specific knowledge of what you are actually going through. And in the comments below, share what stirred in you tonight. Share what you are believing for in your home, in your relationships, in the season you are entering. Let your words become a testimony for the person who arrives here after you still deciding whether to hold on. Let your honesty create space for someone else to be honest. Let your faith, declared in public, be the permission another struggling soul needs to believe again. You are not alone in what you are carrying tonight. You are not alone in what you have been fighting. And you are not alone in the home you inhabit. Heaven is present there. The angels are positioned. And the one who created you and knows every corner of your life and every prayer you have ever whispered in the dark is not finished responding to any of it. I am Archangel Michael. I have been standing guard over what was prepared for your life long before you knew you needed it. I will be standing guard over everything that comes next. Tonight is not the end of your difficult season. It is the night that the difficult season breaks open into something you have not had language for yet, but your spirit already knows is coming. Receive it, rest in it, and wake up tomorrow ready to walk into it. Amen.